Everybody, this is RCK, and I'm glad to have you back here again for the next game we have here for Fallen Empires, or next turn we have here. Sorry, not game. Today we'll be going over turn 51 and 52. So let's go ahead and look at what we have going on here. We have two messages from End. Ermor is building up on the border above Ashdod. I also noticed that he bought an A2 Merc, I guess Air 2 Merc, because I think usually they put S if it meant Astral. I think he's preparing for an invasion from End rather than any plans to invade me. My plan, however, is to finish the fort going up in the Cave province this turn, and then cast Purgatory after building up some dominion. A firewall, you might say, little smiley face there, will need to overwrite an existing global, unfortunately, because I think End already holds most of the globals. Also notice he bought E2 S2 Mage and got is back. That is his GOT back. Got his back. Interesting. And that his got is back. I'm not sure about that. Given those paths, I'd normally be worried about mass flight, earthquake, especially in a cave, but I just don't see how he'd have the research given his research graph. Possibly elemental spam, not sure. I mean, we can take a look for sure, and talk about it there. So, raiding party from Ermor was destroyed. Machaka took a throne. He really didn't take any losses from this, so we don't need to really watch it. Do see some spectral mages there, so that's nice for him to have. Makes me wonder what those guys are actually doing. So let's take a quick look at that. I know I said we weren't, but I do want to see. Okay. So they're Water 2, Def 2s. Seeking Skin. What else are you casting? So I'm waiting on these specters here. Come on, anything else? Cleansing water. Okay. And Howl is up. Gotcha. Flaming arrows, of course. Some fire magic. Fireball. Weapons of sharpness still being cast. We do remember him having that shadow bolt. I saw a shadow bolt go off. Sleep cloud, not going to be as useful. Dust to dust. Okay. Magma eruption. Webs are getting on a lot of his fellas there, but that's okay. More cleansing. Cool. Cool. I was just curious on what we saw there. We have a scout that was caught. Man took over some barbarians. It looks like somebody was assassinating him. Scout was caught by Satis. Looks like Satis is a larger army having those 30 shamans. I don't know if it's tough to say if he should be committing that many shamans to a battle. So I got a group of shamans. Looks like there were some independent attacks here. Vampires attack Satis. Dryads attack Abizia and lost. Ooh, and here we see a Demon Lord. Goat Son here. The 5 fire, 3 death, 4 blood. He's okay. The only downside to him is that he does not have a lot of the nice slots here. Of course, you can. What I'm mentioning is that at level 9 blood, you're able to summon demon lords, and there's a couple of them. Maybe I should go over them one day. There is a game where I do summon them, and you just get a bunch of different random or different path demon lords, of course, and they have their own little things that they're good for, and so they're cool. And they do sometimes pop up in the world. I don't know what the chances of each one of them coming up is, But I have seen this one before. I've seen the corruption one. I've seen the air death one. Don't know if I've ever seen the other two or three. But I've seen this one before. Only shows up with is 13 devils, 11 imps, and a devil, I assume, commanding them. But I mean, he's the big thing in that there, and I think he comes with gems, so we'll have to check. Yes, he does come with gems. And Heat from Hell is also already cast, so that is one of his things, I suppose. Like I said, they all have their own little thing that they do. Shooting the world, powers diminished. Yeah, there you go. There's where it says it. So that is interesting. He's all right. And that was by End, okay. So I don't know if End necessarily has the resources to charm him in a way. I don't think so, but he can definitely have his own demon lords when the time comes. Because I know End is kind of pretty big in the blood later on if he took it high on his pretender. If not, he'd have to work into it. You're not going to want to fight in the cave. Not going to want to fight in the cave. Oh, there's the event happening right there, right outside of his cap circle. I assume it's happening due to the misfortune magic skills here, or high misfortune magic skills. I do think that once you start going like misfortune 3, magic 3, or misfortune 2, magic 3, it opens up some pretty scary events that can happen. So that is interesting. And then, of course, the turmoil 3 is not helping anything, just giving you more events. And the only reason his cap itself has 3 order is due to the sights that he has here. Which one is it? The Onyx Court? No, it's not the Onyx Court. The Great Mirror. No, Sublime Palace. Yep, maximizes order. So even though his scales are Turmoil 3, his capital will be Order 3, which is very nice, of course. Other than that, we have these attacks here from Vizia. Still curious on why he hasn't just destroyed man at this point. Of course, we've already kind of talked about Ermor a little bit. Looks like they are ready to either Murdering Mire. Looks like they're either ready to either attack End or be attacked by End. Because I definitely think that the choice here is not to go after man at the moment, even though he is the weaker person. Because I feel like End will definitely try to harass you if your army is over here. There's a good reason for Machaka to also try to join in and try to help these guys out, but I mean, fighting through one province probably isn't the greatest idea. Definitely has a lot to lose. I mean, if he loses his army, you have, well, In will probably still be your ally. Satis and Arco are fighting, but it honestly looks like they're going to be fighting for a while. Well, you're surrounded by Satis on both sides. I mean, definitely. Well, you have a Bizia too. But yeah, if somebody saw that and got word of it, they could probably definitely go after you. And Arcocephali here on this side. So that is interesting. So it looks like that Satis is ready to take this fort here. And then has a very, very large army going probably for 28. What is here? Mystics. I do not see the god there. Let's see him there either. Where is... Nope, not there. Huh. Might be inside the fort, actually. Could definitely be inside of the fort. So I'm not seeing it anywhere else. I was pretty certain that it hadn't died yet. Okay, so actually, Arcocephali at this point holds most of the globals compared to End. Gift of Help, Mother Oak, Riches from Beneath. I definitely forgot about that because at one point I believe End held more. But now End is only at 2. Doesn't look like Satis, Man, Ermor, Abizia, or who's the last one? I already said Satis. Machaka hasn't really tried to throw in anything to be a global yet. I could definitely see Abizia going for Eternal Pyre. They probably have a higher gem income of fire anyway. So definitely they could hold it against them. Machaka, what could Machaka throw up? Possibly Riches. It's a not really sure what they'd want to go for at the moment. Not necessarily Gift of Health, but they're not at war with anyone. They seem to be doing okay. Just at this point, when you're sitting here, decently big, probably making a lot of money. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 forts, a citadel. Just really be focusing on research. You want to be, whenever you start your next war, you have actually 1, 2, 3 thrones isn't too bad either. When you start your next war, you definitely want to be ahead of then whoever else in research if you've been sitting here for this long. And of course, let's look. Research. They're number 2 in research. Arco is number 1. So there is that. We see N finally making some adjustments there, starting to research again. I feel like that is definitely going to hurt him going that long without research. That was tough. He stagnated there for a long time and then finally got back into it. That's really what we have going on. I don't know if I feel yes, Ermor could take the fight with N, but does Ermor want to take the fight with N? No. If there was a way that they could piece each other out, probably best for both of them. Yes, it's not helping the N problem. Yes, it's not helping the Ermor problem, but then that will allow Ermor to go and kill Man, have 2 forts at this point, be making money, building new forts, having more access to gems. At that point, they're pretty strong. They'll definitely give them a much larger boost. If not, I would see. Sucks that Arcos already took this. If you could probably go after Satis, because I feel like that would be a good fight for you. Yes, they have a lot of astral and stuff like that, but they're big things like Val Vapors, lots of troops, like slave troops, hard-hitting troops. It really doesn't matter all that much of what he's got going on. Horde of Skeletons, okay. We'll just have more. So that is something that you could possibly think about. Arcocephali, I would probably not fight Arcocephali unless you thought it was a good idea to join in Satis, help Satis out and try to fight him. At that point, you could probably grab a little bit of land here. I don't know if you get the cap. I have no access to Abizia, so that's kind of out of the question. Do you want to fight Machaka with all their fire magic and your no fire resistance, if I believe correctly? Probably not. I don't think they have fire resistance. I'll have to double check that, but I don't think that would be the best of ideas. But I don't think his troops will hold up very well against you. So there is that for sure. But that kind of will like snake your empire out a little bit. And if you get raided here, I mean, I don't know. It's a tough decision. You kind of want to be like a full block. Like if you were like this, if you added this on, that'd be nice. Arco would have to give that to you. Yeah, we would have to talk about that. But yeah, there's some interesting ideas there, and of course we'll go on to the next turn, being turn 52. I always try to look at the turn before I go just to make sure I'm saying the right thing. 52. Okay, so let's watch the battles here. Or look at them anyway. So we do see a very nice attack here that also killed a PD dump. I don't know why there's a PD dump, but there is a PD dump. So that is a lot of gold. I doubt that's happened from events, or at least all of it from events. No. So decent amount of undead and then a large amount of PD. Yeah, that is a lot of gold. That is pretty important. And let's see what his kits are. Lifelong Protection, Luck, Vine Shield, and Frostbrand. I probably wouldn't use the Frostbrand. It's just there for casting. And the reason why I wouldn't use the Frostbrand, okay, of course it's good on the horses, but all the undead troops have 25 cold, or 15 cold resistance. And this is dealing, of course, cold damage. Small area cold. Of course, it's going to deal the 8 actual damage there itself. But the AoE spell that really kind of sells the Frostbrand is going to be the small area cold damage there, hitting the whole square with that 12 cold damage. And that's not going to affect the skeletons at all. I guess you couldn't really tell if there was a whole bunch of chaff or a whole bunch of PD there. But I feel like any other AoE would also work very well. Looks like he's gonna kill the Mountain King anyway, so all the skeletons are gonna run away, but you know, that's good too. Come on, is he gonna get him? Hopefully those imps are helping out a lot. See some of the Vine Shield working. It's definitely kind of keeping them, helping the harass penalty on the Malika there. Come on, get him. How much HP do they start with? Oops. Okay, interesting. He might not get him. I don't think the arrows are going to do much against the... I have 0 protection, but the invulnerable 15, that's kind of a big deal for that. But if Lictors here, these guys would get wrecked. Because invulnerable is not going to matter, and they're going to have 0 protection against like a 30 damage hit. Because, of course, the Lictors have magical weapons on their Bless, I believe. But yeah, this whole time, you know, they're really not fighting the Cav. They're fighting like one square of them at the moment. So the AoE really isn't doing anything. Might do a little chip damage here and there, but... I don't know. It might be working, honestly. I really don't know. See, awe procking a little bit there, but it's not going to work on the undead. It's only going to work on the Cav because undead have morale 50, and the awe is versus your morale itself, so it's never going to proc on the undead. We have a large force here from Satis still moving. Is that... no. Archocephali attacking Satis, and here, oh, okay. So here we do see the Titan of Growth finally showing up here. Of course, they've used this very well so far. If you don't remember correctly, this is what it has on it. This one, I don't remember having Thistle Mace last time. Shield of Gleaming Gold, of course, that's going to give it awe. Our Helmet of Heroes, that's going to give it inspiration. Yep. I guess they're just leading right now. We're casting Elemental Armor, Earth Boots, Anti-Magic, Regen. Lots of mages. Some Vine Ogres in the back. A Golem here. Charcoal Shield, so that's going to give him the Fire Shield there. Frostbrand, Starshine Skullcap, giving up to Astral 3. Armor of Knights, Boots of Quickness, Braces of Protection, and Amulet of Anti-Magic. Pretty nice kit. Natural Rain from the Marshmaster, Rigor Mortis from the Marshmaster, Howl from the Marshmaster. Light of Northern Star by the Shaman. So this is all spells that have been cast. Okay, so now the Golem has also cast Light of the Northern Star. And the Marshmaster has cast Quagmire. I love to see Quagmire because I always come out to make it work, but Satis is like the only good nation to make it work because they're the ones that have the most swamp survival, and that's the way so you don't get a penalty to this. But so we see a lot of battlefield spells being cast here by Satis. I wish their line was a little bit wider. What's going on here? I mean, I assume, okay, you have a lot of them here on this side pushing up. Now you have all your no, these are Lizard Kings. Marshmaster, there's a couple of Marshmasters here. I mean, they're going to be casting Horde of Skeletons anyway, so you should have enough chaff to kind of fill this up, I hope. So, these guys are a little too far ahead. But that would be okay. Let me check something. Okay. I want to make sure I wasn't missing a turn or something like that. Battle Fortune. So he's giving some of his guys luck. So something went down. Light of the Northern Star went down by the Shaman. Why? What's going on back here? I mean, I don't say anything unless they died from fatigue, but I don't think so. It's weird. Not entirely sure what happened there. That hurt. I would have tried to kind of separate these frogs a little bit more from the lizards because the lizards are still getting a little bit of poison damage through. That poison cloud of 5 and lizard's resistance of 5 is having it very, very close, and sometimes a little bit of damage is happening there. See, like a damage is having one of the Sobek guard there, and they have poison resistance of 8. We'll definitely try to separate them out, at least pull my troops back and put them all the way forward. So hopefully they would hit the lines first. Oh, that's going to hurt. Things at 35 and the 30s there, and they haven't even started fighting yet. The god is fatigued out currently. Most of these guys are hitting that, a lot of that 50, but I believe a lot of them are also getting to that 100 already, so that's good, knocking a lot of those guys out. Ooh, that's hurting. The gifts from heaven are hurting for sure. I don't think they'll be able to keep up the gifts of heaven too often with the rigor mortis up, but there is a lot coming down, even hitting some of their own troops there. Just love his guys are twice born. Oh, they're not fatigued out yet, but his own troops are fatigued out. Or getting there. I would have liked to see relief come up. That would have, oh, there is relief, never mind. My bad. But I don't think relief is enough to counteract the total, what is really going on with rigor mortis there. It's going to help. It's not going to be the best. Yeah, but definitely in battle, it's going to make it very difficult. We do see they're high, but they're not. What do we have? Satis here routing. Oh, that's blade winds are really hurting. Between the gifts from heaven and blade winds, it's very difficult there. I mean, being so high in enchantment, you really don't have air access, unfortunately. And we do see this as a battle loss here for Satis, and we'll look at what was left. A lot of Heart Champions died, at least half, so that's good. 10 Mystics died, was good. Half of the Astronaut, or half of these fellows here, these mages here, died and good. That was a lot of money. That was 1,000 gold there. Lost. Okay, no, that's just 2. Okay, but losing 25 shamans is very painful. That is a lot of castle turns. Even if you have a lot of castles, that's still, I mean, even if you have 10 castles because you've taken Scalaria, that's still almost 3 turns of recruiting one out of every castle. So, putting you a couple turns behind there. Ooh, losing all the Sobeks, they're expensive. And it takes time for these Sacred Serpents, but they're not the best. Monster Toads, I'm pretty sure you had to summon. You gained the control of a few guys. Elite Wars, It's really just the 25 shamans there that was the big hit. Yeah, definitely. I mean, Arcosavali did lose 15 mages themselves, but they still have a lot left over. Losing half of the Heart Champions is kind of unfortunate, but he has just so many hoplites. I think he's still able to go forward after Satis lost so much of his army itself. We have End using mercenaries to attack Ermor. Well, this is our event, never mind. Some strange birds attacked End, but was defeated. Even though they did take out the Sage, it looks like the birds routed as well. That's really all we have going on here. Of course, we have the standoff between these two, and I would not take that fight as End. I think Ermor should go ahead and push over and attack End. If his lictors are ready, I guess. But it does look like his lictors are there. So maybe we might see an attack next turn. Chaka is doing their thing over here. Looks like Busy is still just blood hunting a lot and doing summons. Starting to see some cave grubs, so possibly going after Man here shortly. Finally seeing that, so that might be good. Looks like they're probably patrolling all of these provinces, blood hunting. That one definitely. I see the unrest go. Yeah, they're probably all doing that. Arcosafali and Satis. Oh goodness, there's just a big loss. Your army is everywhere. Man. Don't know if Machaka will be attacking Satis here. Interesting to see that. Definitely a possibility. We'll see if Satis will be able to take 28 and kind of fight back a little bit. This is his larger army, if I believe. Be able to take back a little bit. So that is interesting. So we talked about those. Busy, man, just be making as many mages and troops as you can for your best last defense. Because you shouldn't push against Ermor. You really can't push against a Busy anymore. You've kind of lost your window for that. Don't fuck with Satis. Don't fuck with End. You're just kind of sitting there hoping nobody comes and kills you anytime soon. Maybe you can hold out and have another good fight where you put all your gems back into it and kind of hurt the players that's been hurting you. But other than that, I don't see him breaking out anytime soon. So that's everything for this episode, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.